Black Chicago residents group vows to oppose any candidate who supports Democrats' open border agenda. I believe I alluded a little bit to this in a previous video, but we're going to talk a little bit more about this. People are finally waking up to something that Trump had said years ago, back when they were calling him a racist and a xenophobe and all these other things. But it's the truth. You can't be accepting all these people into our country. You can't have a wide open border and pay for all these people. We can't afford it physically. I mean, it makes no sense. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. Has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store. Also, check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for news as well. All right, let's talk about this news. A black residents group in Chicago is expressing frustration with the illegal immigration situation in the city, which is under the control of Democrats and designated as a sanctuary city, which again is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. But on the south side of the city, the group gathered to notify City Hall and the city council that it will no longer endorse the Democrats' open border stance. The pledge to actively oppose any political candidate endorsing the current Democrat mayor's pro illegal immigration policies within the sanctuary cities. They say they don't care if it's a Republican or a Democrat. If they for open borders, they are George Soros plant, then they're gonna be opposed to them. But as per Breitbart, the group even states is willing to vote for a Republican if deemed necessary, which is big, especially within the black community. This development arises amid Chicago's ongoing challenges with the influx of illegal immigrants, a consequence of the southern border crisis. Many residents, especially, expressed dissatisfaction with Democrat Mayor Brandon Johnson allocating over $363 million in taxpayer funds for these illegal immigrants. That's right, 363 million. That is just crazy. And despite Chicago being distant from the US Mexico border, it has not escaped the repercussions of President Joe Biden's lenient immigration policies, largely attributed to Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott. And good on him. I mean, I love the move. Greg Abbott was one of the first people to start busting them into these sanctuary cities where they were welcoming illegal immigrants at first. And now that they're seeing what some of us border states are getting hit with, now they're starting to see it and be against it. Except for, of course, these George Soros Democrats, these open borders, open society Democrats. Chicago, a Democrat controlled city, has asserted itself as a sanctuary city, with Abbott transporting some of the Texas illegal immigrant population to Chicago last year. Reportedly, Chicago's illegal immigration population now exceeds 21,000, with many arriving from Texas on Abbott's buses. Since then, Mayor Johnson has been allocating substantial resources to uphold Chicago's sanctuary city status. Recently, the city council overwhelmingly approved the mayor's 2024 budget, including an extra $150 million for the illegal immigration population. I can't believe they actually voted for this. However, the challenge lies in the limited resources available to manage illegal immigration. A certain acknowledged by I'm sorry, a concern. I'm struggling today. Sorry, a concern acknowledged by some Chicagoans, but uncertain whether Mayor Johnson grasps the situation. In response, a group of Black Chicago residents is threatening to support Republican candidates if the city persists in backing the open border agenda. The Breitbart News highlights that the speakers warned aldermen of potential removal, emphasizing that residents in severely affected areas may shift their votes towards Republicans and independents to counter Democrats aligned um, with the illegal alien lobby. Mayor Johnson is now proposing a limit of 60 days for illegal immigrants in shelters, seemingly an effort to pacify critics of his sanctuary city policies. Whether this is an attempt to appease will prove successful. I'm sorry. Whether this attempt at appeasement will prove successful remains uncertain. But he's still saying, though, he's still saying the 60-day limit. He's still going to support and welcome illegal immigrants, even with the 60-day limit. He's admitting that his policy really not changing that much. So I think this is just something to give him some cover for a while. But he's still going to continue to accept these illegal immigrants. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest news. Until next time, peace.